So yeah, I know it's been over a year since I've posted a video, and I'll get into why with my sorry excuses later. But today's Sunday. We've got a new office. Barnabas is still in commission, but it acts as kind of a second location now. But I wanted to get a quick rip in today, just because these phones came in exactly as is. I haven't touched them. This one looks to be complete, which we're going to list online. We have a vintage sale too coming up in the shop. But this one came without the top. You can see the plastic was cracked, and so I'm going to be taking that apart today. Because I haven't done this in a while, like I said. I've been super busy, no excuse. But here's the thing, I don't have my headband today. So what I'm gonna do is kind of set this up on the tripod, which is super weird and jacked up. Okay. I should have planned this out a little bit better, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, not a great angle, but it'll have to do. We've got a bunch of basically flat heads. You can tell the number didn't even have a zip code on it. I love the push buttons. Gold mic, green mic. It is the, let's see, I love all the little hand notes that we find over here. No connection. All right, it is Western Electric. Yeah, I don't know much about when the Bells broke up. I was young and not really thinking of business and what monopolies meant. I'm sure it's an entire course in business school. But I didn't go to business school, so I really don't know much about it. So I'm gonna I never use flatheads, but I got a couple bits here. Go ahead and just get everything we see here. Well, I hope you all have been doing well. Not getting into my absence, but more of just what I've been up to in general. You know, the market's been pretty crazy down. Oh look, I didn't even check what was on the other end of that cord, but it's like what you would see in a guitar amp, a 1/4 inch. And you see on the old movies and the switchboards, you kind of take one in and one out. That was what was screwed into here. But yeah, the market's been nuts. Pretty much everything's down. I'm pretty big into crypto. Have been since 2000 and I don't even remember, 13 maybe. And plastic. Yeah, it's the NFT market, the crypto market, everything's just pretty much so uncertain right now that I really got involved in trading NFTs and day trading and building this business over the last year. We signed a lease back in October of 2021. We outgrew the space within 2 months. We're kind of taking over the rest of the building. That hasn't happened yet, but we've been kind of going back between Barnabas and here. Our new location is at an amazing, basically main corner of our downtown area in Franklin, Tennessee. We've just been so busy, and I say we because we have 7 employees now. We have got, including myself, 4 full-time. We had 5 until a couple weeks ago, but 4 full-time and 3 or 4 part-time. Wow. Okay. So this is the kind of stuff that I just go over. This is technically telecom equipment. I mean, it's a telephone. It's like kind of where the name comes from, although I think more large scale units with telecom and a lot more boards. But you know, we've got technically a brown automatically means low grade board, and not in this case. I mean, just these gold, I mean, they are thick. They're like a millimeter thick, full of the gold. I'm not sure what these silver ones are. It says KS 16390 list 7. It doesn't have a plus sign on it, so I'm going to assume it's not a tantalum capacitor. But there is a date here on the board, and it says June 14th, 1977, I believe. I'll confirm that maybe on a different board, but you can see these capacitors have a little gold rim around the base of them. So I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna bring that in. I'm gonna guess that that has a gold bottom, and I was correct, but not nearly the gold I thought it was gonna be. That green plastic kind of epoxy I thought was gonna be gold, but the pins are gold. So we're gonna bring down my cool gold holder, put that in there. I'll probably put that with the vintage stuff. I completely separate my vintage, all the stuff that I pull off the board. But yeah, I'll probably break that down further. We do have a copper back plate that has some flathead screws on it. See if that comes off easily. If not, I don't know, it looks like it might have a little bolt on it. Yep. Okay. Yeah, this is nice. Let's snip this guy. We're just peeling it back. We've got some solder, nothing much. It is a nice copper sheet, about a 0.5 millimeter thick. That'll go in the scrap copper. What was I talking about? Yeah, the growth of the business and the markets, and you know, it's just been nutty. I did get COVID. I was down for a week. I traveled for my birthday. You know, every time I got to feeling like I wanted to write or make a video, you know, something would pop up. This industry is just, for lack of better words, it's amazing right now. The amount of supply chain issues that there are, you know, and I understand that a lot of people are hurting. In certain industries, that you know, when people lose, other people win, and I certainly am not, you know, unaware of that. Right now, with graphic cards and RAM and certain computer parts, you know, there's some supply chain issues that, you know, we're just getting this stuff for free. We check it. Most of the time it works, and we sell it. The business has just been booming, honestly. Not just the scrap value. I mean, that's a nice part of it, but the resale part of it. I wanted to show you this. I believe this is a capacitor, but it is gold plated, it looks like, and I don't know why it's plated. It's not really touching anything. It's not going in and out of anything like a slot card like these. So it might just be decorative, but it certainly is gold plated. It did not come off the board easily at all. You can see it cracked the board, but I'm going to put that in my vintage gold collection. It's pretty much the same board. This one is not, doesn't have a date on it, but it does have 78 on the end, maybe. But pretty much the same components as the last time. Slightly different. Got another one, comes right out. These gold slots here are just so thick. That's going to be really nice to get those in a bath. There's just really cool colors. This looks like a tantalum capacitor. It's got the plus sign on this black one right here. I'm not sure what these are. Feel free to leave a comment if you're good at recognizing some of this old vintage stuff. Yeah. looked and saw, and here's the other card, same kind of same. The rest of them didn't have the copper background, but I looked at the channel. Oh yeah, I love these. They're like these cool fans. They should come off here just like that. It's like a little skirt. They're made out of aluminum mostly, at least the ones that I've seen, and I'm assuming they act as like an additional cooling device. We have got our first kind of chip here. It's got I don't know if you can see it, but it's got one gold foot at all the silver ones. So definitely going to be taking that off. I'll probably strip these down entirely. This does look like a tantalum capacitors, 2 of them. It does have the plus sign. It's got the pinched neck. But you know, they have like bullet tantalum capacitors, and I mean, maybe just because it has a plus sign, it doesn't mean it's always tantalum, but these have some juicy ones on there, so that's kind of a cool board. This is really heavy, and I think it's because whatever's in this, but this back plane kind of board where the slots are coming into right here, you can tell it's a lot of soldering, but it's a really nice gold pins as well, so I'll definitely be taking that. Looks like these back planes are flat heads, maybe just 1 or 2. One, don't know what's keeping it in there. Really should be having gloves on. Oh, it's I think it's like wedged this. Oh yeah, just like these teeth right here, it's kind of going in the side there, so I'm gonna kind of maneuver it out. It doesn't look to have more than 1 screw in it. Oh yes, it does have more than 1 screw. It is right here. Ooh, bad angle. Let's see if I can get it. Yep, there it is. Maybe even a 3rd if it's 1. Nope, just 2. So big old capacitor, tantalum. It looks like these guys come off. You can see he's got flat heads on the back, but man, beautiful gold pins. So I've been with my partner building the business. We are constantly busy. We've pretty much leveraged Google to kind of tackle the market here. We handle the majority of the recycling in the city, because most of our, this is tough. Oh, timber. I lost a whole plate of breakdown. A lot of these folks don't even know what to do with their cords and remotes and VCRs and computers, and you know, with privacy concerns and whatnot. They just, you know, let it sit and gather dust instead of throw it in a landfill. And you know, they're starting to more and more realize that we exist. We've been heavily involved in community events and Main Street festivals, and getting the word out there that, you know, not only do we ethically, environmentally recycle electronic goods, you know, we do it in a security minded way too. So I think people are catching on that, you know, you bring your computer to a city or municipal recycling program, and they just throw it in a truck or put it on a pallet and, you know, sell it to the highest bidder. But anyways, I wanted to get into that too much. This is a really cool kind of device. There's all these wires kind of soldered to these. They're non-gold. They look like really brass or stainless. I can't really tell, but and then they have all these switches in the front. And I really don't know how a phone works. But it's really neat. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of chop all these. But as inactive as I've been as far as creating content, I've still been digesting it. And there's some great new folks on the scene as far as metal refining, recycling. You know, Thub's still one of my favorites. Of course, eWaste bin, still putting out content, and you know, I always look to others to see kind of what they're doing and doing well, and you know, maybe what I could add to, or bring my own perspective to it. And I think you know, we're going to start pivoting more with the content that we're creating, and not just do cool little breakdowns like this stuff, because this actually isn't really a quick rip at all. It's so intricate that it's a slow rip. And I haven't talked to y'all in a while, and have a lot to catch up on. But okay, so this, I'm going to go ahead and cut it so you can see it and give a good... The pins that were going into the back planes, right, this plastic kind of mounted to this steel backboard, I didn't do it on purpose, but it did crack in half, and so it exposed the pins. And they are not just gold plated, they are, I mean, they are gold plated, but they're not just like flash plated in the spots where it touches, they're entirely plated. So I think those are definitely going to go into the gold plated pin pile to get further refined. We are going to start doing the more, we were doing toll refines, and I think it is worth the 25% that you pay to have your stuff refined for you. But I've also been collecting all the lab equipment and the knowledge and the know-how to do it myself, off-site, not at our recycling location, but at a different location where we just do the refining, so you know, this is not open to the public or anything like that. We are the guys that break down are kind of getting trained to be more mindful of where they or you know, how they organize things. So you can kind of tell we've got, you know, scrap CPUs, resale ones. We've got some scrap RAM up here, and then just a bunch of like different throw bins, gold banded oscillators, I think is what eWaste bin calls these. We keep them because they're apparently good bang for your buck. MLCCs, we just kind of emptied this little, you know, they fill up quick, but not terribly quick. We've got a little bucket of pins. I'll throw them in here first, but then, you know, gold ends, gold slot tips, Wi-Fi cards, you know, server RAM, copper scrap, brass, gold ribbon, just, you know, just like cool stuff. So they're organizing a little bit better because we're going to be refining it ourselves. But yeah, so really we're down to the shell. This is these just scrap steel. There seems to be some copper ends here. This I don't know. I mean, I wish I knew how it worked, but maybe when you hang up, that kind of cuts the current, the dial tone off there. These are all the different. Let's see on the one that's kind of still put together. There doesn't seem to be a. Oh yeah, there is. There's 3 different auxiliary, gold, green, and then there's this dial one. Telephone line comes in, so I guess this is how it all switches and manages the calls. We're gonna go ahead. All right, let me put this back. Technical difficulties here. I obviously am rusty and haven't made a video in a year, and so my apologies. Thanks for hanging with me here. Got one big flathead bolt here. Come on. Always remember, wait till it wiggles, and that's when it's ready. But even then, let's flip this guy over. Don't see any more flathead. Oh, there's one. Something came off. Little plastic piece. That's really bad on that. So I've also been working on the book. I'm pretty excited about where it's at, although it has a long way to go. I'm pretty bad at self-promotion and remembering to do marketing and, you know, all of that stuff. I should really be kind of releasing chapters and working on email lists. And ooh, look at this nice, these little plastic ends. So these were the buttons, you know, the mic, auxiliary mic. So on the back of this, there's some plastic, some wire, some phone wire going, and then these really nice gold pins. So those will be kept as well. I don't know if I'll go in there and ow, they're sharp. Damn, they're sharp. I I don't know if I'll burn the plastic or go and crush it. I won't really know until I have many pounds of it to deal with. I don't do really small batch stuff. I'm kind of keeping it. I mean, gold fluctuates on a daily basis, but you know, if you zoom out enough, it goes up. So I'm in no hurry to do small batch stuff here and there. Really, I'm just in accumulation mode. I figured there'll be a price that it hits that I'll be like, all right, well, now it's time to get the acid out and do all that stuff. Okay, so we got a little flathead. This is what I see, all these gold pins like in these slots, these little holes. I can see these glint of gold. So I am going to go for it and just do a full tear down. Oh, there you go, popped right out. These springs, okay, ooh, lots of springs coming out. We just got steel. Doesn't seem to be really anything on these except this little bit of copper and plastic. So I'll get my pinchers, my side snips, and see if they come out easy. Oh, they do. Okay, so yeah, plastic goes in trash, unfortunately. Oh, what's on the bottom of that? That's just paper. Man, you know, plastic is just horrendous. Now that I've been dealing with it, you know, ignoring the single-use stuff, which is just, ugh, no comment. But you know, there's no recycling this electronics plastic. That's odd that there was only copper that I saw on just one. You know, I've got to basically throw it out. I don't have the space to hold on to tons of it. You know, there's some companies that'll buy your plastic for pennies if you got 10,000 pounds minimum, and you know, I just don't have that kind of space. Okay, so these they look like they're gold plated, right? Oh, here I am working off the camera. You've just been staring at. You can see they're gold plated. That little glint of gold that I saw is just the ends. Since it's so old, I'm gonna go ahead and keep these. I'm just gonna kind of put them in that pin pile. Not all of them are, so these guys I'll probably just, so I don't waste acid and whatnot. Let me see if this is metallic. It is not metallic, so I'm gonna guess it's brass, but I'm gonna just put them in the brass pile. It's not the color of brass, but all right. So I'll just put those in the gold pin pile and move on. And of course, I never remember what I'm talking about. Oh, the beauty of ADD. It's like, what, squirrel? These number 2 wire. But so, you know, building this business and thinking long term, you know, you have two sides of the revenue. The revenue model works in two parts. It's, you got your scrap value, you know, your bread and butter, copper, cords, and the stuff that people are giving out pretty much every day, which is nice. I have a full-time scrap manager on board, and his goal is to obviously maximize profit and balancing time and space, which is super important because we only have so much square footage we can work with. And he is, you know, basically 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and 1 Saturday a month. So he's got to get what he can done. The other side of the business, of course, is the resale value. All these, I'm talking, but I'm also struggling trying to unweave all these wires. So I think I'm just going to commit to a snip and see if that solves the problem. The other half is obviously the resale side of it. You know, everything kind of happens. Look at that on the old bell, copper coil. It's got this brass top. I'm assuming it's either the motor or how it rings. Again, not a pro. I could talk about computers and laptops all day, but cell phones, or cell phones, landlines is not my forte. This is an aluminum cap. It's light as a feather, you can tell, so that will go in scrap sheet. This is a cool, you know, it's just how things are made. I don't have an engineer's mind. I love the reverse engineering, kind of seeing how things are made and what was the decision-making process. You know, why did they do it this way? And then if you can, what's even cooler is if you can get a later model, you can kind of see how their decision making evolved to make a better design. That'll just go in probably engine or motors. So the resale part of the business is obviously a lot more profitable, especially with earlier I was talking about the supply chain issues and whatnot. You know, we get graphic GPUs that are 3 years old that someone's is upgraded. I don't know why a lot of this stuff people just throw out, but nevertheless they do. And so we benchmark test and make sure things are working properly. Even the stuff that doesn't work sells as parts and repair. But the truth of it is that the reselling business is about 70% of our revenue model or revenue stream, and that's never a good position to be in when something makes up such a large percentage of your sales, unless you're like, that's all you do. Like, you sell soap online. In 100% of your revenue comes from that. That's a different, way of thinking. But, ours is a kind of a dual revenue income. And it's going to be more than that. We've got plans to do some other things that's going to kind of widen our faucet per se, but those are still kind of in the works and not ready to share yet. But ooh, that plastic just disintegrated. I mean, I just scraped the flathead on it and it just fell apart. These are the telephone jack. Usually, not usually, 99.9 cents, and the vast majority of the time, I will go right past these on any office phone, anything like that. I don't even look at them. Ethernet, doesn't matter what it is. Again, though, being in the 70s, I'm going to go ahead and keep it because that dull gold plating is just so far superior than what the modern stuff is. And I don't know, I don't know if it's 10 micron atoms thicker or 2. I don't know, but I'm willing to just hold on to it because you do get better yields from it, and it all adds up. It all adds up. That's going to be kind of a pain, is going through and getting all these gold pins off the wires, but that's part of it. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. This guy is like still super heavy, so I'm sure it's got a transformers or something in there. I'm going to try to get these bolts off so I can get these the rest of the pins out, and it can just kind of be just a shell that can just go into weight once I get the transformers off. But going back to business, because that's what I like to talk about. I was actually talking about more and more people doing this content, whether it be e-waste or metal refining or recycling. It all kind of works. We all kind of hang out together and support each other. I've seen a lot of new folks creating videos, and I'm just so inspired by them, but have such a hard time remembering to, hey, I need to make content today, and building it into my daily routine, because we are so busy that we get in the morning and it is nonstop until it's done. So sometimes it's 5:30 and sometimes we're here till 8, and I really enjoy the work. My background is in branding and web design and logo design, and working with clients to establish their brand voice, and that's kind of where I came from, and I did it for 20 years, and before I started this, and I know how important it is. All right, I used to charge my clients and come up with plans on creating content and blog posting and all, and all these things that I would used to get so frustrated with my clients when they wouldn't do it, because it looks poor. It's a poor reflection on me if they're not making better money after hiring me and stuff like that. So, but here I am. This is, I think, got to get it with an old school hand tool. But here I am, not remembering to schedule my content creation. But it seems like the industry is growing. It seems that with all what's going on with the economy, I mean, not just the American economy, it's all over. There are so many people hurting, so many flaws in the system, but people are using this time and government money and loans, or the bailout stuff, and they put that money to work, and it seems that there's a lot more people working for themselves and doing what they're passionate about. I know that we are. I was, for the longest time, still doing web design while I was kind of getting this business started. I've been kind of tinkering as a backyard miner. Oh, there we go. Ooh, it's got a little rat's nest under there. And we've kind of found a hidden board there. And look at that. That's wood. That is a wood cap, not plastic, or well, it might be. It looks like it's got wood grain, but it could be old school plastic or old school printed circuit boards, but it looks fibrous. So yeah, I've been really enjoying seeing all the new folks on the block. I wish I remembered their names. I am so bad with names. Part of the whole ADD thing is apparently, it can be, at least, being bad with names, and I am just horrendous. But I can link some potentially if I remember to do that. But so going a year without really any major video, that's not going to happen again. It can't happen again. It's just bad business. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just bad business. And I've got such an amazing team that, I went off to Florida for my birthday. I went and saw some friends. And I was really worried. I was like, I can't leave the office. This is my baby. Nothing will happen if I'm gone. And, lo and behold, my team did an amazing job. Ran the whole thing. 0 issues. Barely even got a call or a question. It's like, okay, sometimes you've got to delegate and relinquish control and go do other things, kind of trusting your team. And I have always been a solopreneur. Other than in college having bartending jobs, I've always worked for myself. After college, started my own businesses, maybe had partners, but for the majority of the time, I've worked alone and maintained all that decision making and control, and it doesn't come naturally to me to just say, okay, someone else take over and let me relax. So that was really nice. And it was the true test, right? I mean, I quite literally actually turned off my phone, ordered drinks poolside with my friends, and unplugged and just believed everything was going to be okay. And my partner, who's also my life partner, Brandy, she came with me to the beach, obviously, and she did work. Her role is a little different than mine. She does a lot of the management. She's the chief operating officer, so she did have to put in some time for sure. But as far as my part, I didn't, and it was great. And I'm going to do that more. Not vacation. Oh, I am going to do that more, but I'm going to relinquish control more. and trust my team knows what they're doing, and I don't have to be on top of them all the time to micromanage or anything like that. And I'm gonna write. I'm gonna finish the book. I'm gonna create content. I'm gonna talk to the people that like and dislike the videos I'm doing or the words that I'm saying, and create dialogue and share ideas and, you know, plug into humanity, which I just haven't been doing. I've been such heads down. I mean, I've just been not alone. I've had, you know, again, I have a great partner and a great team, but we have been just completely focused on creating systems and making sure revenues are strong and people know that we... Well, my camera started beeping and then shut off. So I have a feeling that they're going to be shutting off on me soon. The battery's pretty low. But there's that backboard. I will stop rambling for now and get back to it. But I hope this quick, not so quick rip, I think that's what I was calling my videos, quick rips. See, it's been so long, I don't even know what my freaking titling system is. This last one, but yeah, it wasn't too quick, and I'm glad we got a chance to catch up. I've got like 4 more screws left. I'm like drilling with one hand and holding the camera with the other, obviously doing a horrible job at both. I think that's it. Yep, just steel, just transformer. Little guy right here. All right, so apparently my camera got overheated, and that's why it kept cutting off. And that's never happened before, and I think it has something to do with linking my phone. So like I link my phone so I can kind of see what I'm doing without having to look at the camera. Anyways, I felt unsatisfied by my parting words, so I'm going to wrap up now. So basically, we turned this without the shell, which was missing, and that's the only reason I broke it down, because I didn't have the resale value, I don't think, into this. This kind of cool thing that I'm going to be breaking down more. It's got a bunch of levers and brass in it. I didn't keep the plastic, but I just thought it was a cool little button. Huge tantalum. I think it's a tantalum. It's got a big old plus sign on it. A lot of juicy, dull gold pens, and as eWaste Ben taught us, the dull gold is the best gold. Here it's a little shinier, but still dull. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boards plus this little guy, so 8 boards, and then we've got this copper plating here. All of the boards except for one have this beautiful thick dull gold. So juicy. Yeah, so that's what we got out of it. I'm super stoked. We got a lot of new gold, what am I trying to say? Gold plated vintage items. I've got a whole kind of container for it, and overall I'm pretty happy. It took a little longer than I wanted to, but I got to talking and catching up, so I'll probably edit out a little bit, but hope you enjoyed. Hope you haven't unsubscribed for our lack of engagement, but if so, totally understandable. But like and subscribe if you like what you saw, because there's gonna be a lot more of this coming. Thanks guys and girls. Bye.